Brown looks left, throws, caught. Seth Roberts diving for the end zone. Touchdown! Raiders!
They knew that if and when they scored, they were going for two.
High, out of the shotgun. There's a lob for Michael Crabtree. Caught it! He caught it! He caught it! The Raiders have the lead! 35-34!
I let them know early in that drive. I said, when we go score here, we're going to go for two. And we're going to win it right here.
What's it all about? Just win, baby. That's what it's about.
Just win, baby, and they did just that. The Raiders bet on themselves in the Superdome with a gutsy call, and it paid off. Stephen A. Smith, how are you feeling about Oakland now?
We shall see. Everybody's getting excited about the silver and black. I'm excited about their colors. I'm excited about their mystique. I'm excited about the fact that Jack Del Rio was gutsy enough to call that two-point conversion instead of looking to go to overtime by making the extra point because of the way Drew Brees was passing. 424 yards, 4 touchdowns, 14th time in his career he's passed for over 400 yards in a game tying the great Peyton Manning on an all-time list. Drew Brees, needless to say, Max, validated why he deserved the $60 million in guarantee that I tried to tell you last week he deserved, all right? Because as you, I'm sure, witnessed yesterday, you see what I mean when I say that's all they got? You see what I mean when I say that he is the New Orleans Saints, that it really, really doesn't matter? We damn near forgotten that Sean Payton is the head coach because there's really nobody else that matters on the New Orleans Saints when Drew Brees is not there. I'm just saying.
You want to mischaracterize what I said to whack at a straw man? Is that what you want to do?
I'm trying to tell you, okay, that when you say Drew Brees, that's the New Orleans Saints. When you say the New Orleans Saints, that's Drew Brees. One without the other doesn't mesh because the New Orleans Saints are the eighth without Brees. Now, hold on, because let me just get to my bigger point about the Raiders. The Raiders got Carr, who's a damn good quarterback. Amari Cooper is a stud. What did he have yesterday? I think he has 137 yards, 6 receptions. The brother was on another level. This kid, Richard, 75-yard touchdown run open the game. I mean, it's very, very impressive. But the Raiders' defense is still suspect. That 98-yard hookup between Brees and Cooks is something that they need to revisit. The bottom line is that the reason why I say the jury is still out, because the New Orleans Saints are horrible defensively. They're just horrible. And because your defense is horrible, because they are an abomination, because they repeatedly showcase how depressing they look for fans out there watching, hoping for a defense, it is hard for me to get caught up on what I saw from the Raiders offensively. That's my issue.
Look,
so we shall see.
Look, first of all, with Drew Brees, then I'm going to get to my real point, just to answer this outrageous, outlandish attack.
Whatever.
I know he is the man now. I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing length of deal. And in fact, I said the Saints got it right. 2 years, because he'll be 38 this year, or at the end of this, during the playoffs this year, which I don't think they'll be a part of. He'll be 40 by the time the deal is, the guaranteed money's over. And no quarterback ever has been elite past about 40 and a half. No one's been elite at 41. So they were smart to give him the contract they did. Now, as Wally Shawn said in The Princess Bride, there are
Princess Bride.
That's right. That's right.
That's what you quote.
That's right.
The Princess.
That's right.
First it was Shakespeare. That's the Princess Bride.
Well, I'm paraphrasing.
Okay.
Classic blunders.
Awesome.
Never get involved in a land war in Asia, but also, never not take Drew Brees in daily fantasy if he's playing at home. I made a classic blunder yesterday, and I paid for it. If Drew Brees is playing at home, take him, because daily fantasy, he's going to kill it for you. Now, I want to get to my real point here.
I'm glad.
Del Rio. This is why Raiders fans should be happy. Jack Del Rio made the wrong call, and it came out right yesterday. That's the wrong call. I know you're on the road. I know Brees is throwing it and everything. But the fact is, they score the extra. They go for two. They convert. And then because of a celebration, it's a ridiculous rule, but okay, they give up 15 yards. And that very well would have been in fact, it would have been the difference in the game, put him in field goal range to actually make the field goal, had it not been for Janikowski's leg. I mean, that guy, talk about a different level. It's unbelievable. Now, maybe Del Rio realizes that, so he knows he can get bailed out by Janikowski. I believe it was the wrong decision at that moment, but it showed me something about Jack Del Rio. I'm here criticizing often NFL coaches about being cowards, essentially. They play by the book. They play for self-preservation. They don't want to be second-guessed, and so they don't go for it on 4th and 1, and they don't really look to put the dagger, to really, the killer instinct. They're always looking, oh, maybe we'll get it to overtime. Let's punt. Let's not go for it. Jack Del Rio showed me something. Whether or not it was right,
wait a minute,
the fact is he will go for it.
Wait a minute.
He'll be aggressive.
Wait a minute. If he showed you something,
Yes.
then it ain't wrong.
Well, no,
it ain't wrong.
In
If he
that
showed
case,
you something
yes.
and he won because of it, it ain't wrong.
In
That's
that
double
case,
dipping, Max
that's
Kellerman.
right. I'll triple
That's
dip.
double dip.
I'll
You
triple
want triple
dip.
dip.
I will
You want some
triple
ice
dip.
cream
Double
too?
dip.
Right.
You want some ice
So
cream
It
too?
worked
Want
out.
sprinkles and
It was the
everything you
wrong
want?
decision, but it worked out, and it
So it's a
showed me.
wrong decision.
And it showed me that's
So it's
double
a
dip.
wrong
Here comes the
decision.
triple dip.
Go ahead.
And it showed me that he has the kind of aggressive nature, not worrying about getting
Which
second
makes
guess,
it right.
that you need in the long run.
You talked over me all morning. You guys were doing so good. I haven't get to do one
I'm
bump.
sorry. It's his
Thank
fault.
you.
I'm not sorry. I'm not
Thank you.
sorry.
Can
I'm not
I
sorry. He's
read?
wrong.
Sexy Rexy, not happy after.
Put a word in it.
Jimmy G taking care of business in Arizona against the 5th-ranked total defense. That was in 2015. 2 rookie guards, 2 backup tackles. Garoppolo went 24 for 33, 264 pass yards in a TD. So, Stephen A., you've given me a hard time when I refer to pretty boy swag Jimmy Garoppolo as Jimmy G. I'm looking for eye contact from you, my friend.
I don't know if that was eye contact or just side eye.
It was a little side-eye.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Stephen A., has he earned
that was a whatever look.
the nickname Jimmy G now after that performance last night against Arizona on the road? No Gronk. Give the man some love.
If you want somebody to give him love, talk about folks out there looking at him and thinking he's the second coming of Tom Brady from GQ magazine.
Future.
He's a good-looking young brother. You understand? What I'm saying? You listen to folks out there, they find him attractive. You want to call him Jimmy G based on something like that? Be my guest. I'm thinking about the football player because I don't flow like that. And the bottom line is that when I think about Jimmy Garoppolo, I see one game. One.
Yeah.
That's it.
Against
one
Arizona.
game. It was against the Arizona
win or
team.
loss?
Everyone thought they would lose
Listen,
that.
it was a win.
Oh.
It was.
Did he have Gronk?
I see one game. He did not have Gronkowski. I get it. I see one game against a team like the Arizona Cardinals who were ill-prepared, and I'd like to take this a step further. It's bad enough I feel the way that I feel, but I'd like to personally give a thanks to my man and my partner in crime, Max Kellerman, because you've made my points for me. You spoke about the greatness of Bill Belichick. So the greatness of Bill Belichick with that lengthy period of time to prepare is what ultimately buffered my position that Jimmy G deserves very little credit for what he did.
Oh, I got
it was
you.
a combination of Bruce Arians. It was a combination of Arizona not showing up. I mean, I don't know what the hell was going on with them yesterday. Don't get me started with Mr. Carson Palmer. Got the nerve to sit up there and call out Tom Brady because of the Deflategate, and you don't even have the decency to go in there and handle your business against Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, you got to be kidding me. So I'm saying all of this to say, I'm not saying he can't play. I'm not saying he didn't do a good job. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve any credit. But you were not here when I had to get on Miss Mollywood here. Notice I call her Mollywood because the shine has really hit her.
Yeah.
She's Mollywood these days. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Here's the deal. Mollywood is all about Jimmy G.
Oh,
and I said, you need to show up and produce on a consistent basis before you get a nickname.
I agree with that.
And so that's all I'm trying to say. So they're asking this question because what they want to do is, after 60 minutes of football on a Sunday night in which the opposition, which were the Arizona Cardinals, who were supposed to be Super Bowl contenders, they forgot to show up. They want me to sit here, Ryan, and concede that Jimmy Garoppolo deserves and has earned a nickname,
that's what we
Jimmy
do.
G.
Look.
And I say no, he has not.
It appears
Not
on
yet.
the surface that you got me with the Belichick point.
Well,
I'm
we
here
know-
saying
we know
Belichick,
this.
you know,
Everything's on the surface with him. Everything's on the surface with him.
Because Belichick has time to prepare. He's unbeatable. 12-1 in his last 13 openers, all the
Whatever,
Super Bowls,
man.
and he makes the playoffs.
Whatever, man.
They do too well in the playoffs because
Okay.
he has time to prepare. But you can't really separate a quarterback from his coach like that. Now, Matt Castle maybe was Matty C once upon a time. He won 11 games.
I really gotta
Once
help
you
you
leave Belichick, that's a different story. But guess what? For right now, he's got the head coach. He's fine. And there's a reason he's on the roster, because he can do things like go 24 of 33 with 264 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions, and against an elite defense, 5th ranked last year. They were among the odds-on favorites to win the Super Bowl this year. Compare that to what Mariota did against the Vikings. Now, Mariota, I think, is going to be a franchise quarterback. I think he's worth anything.
Not a great day yesterday.
Well, that's the point.
We'll talk about in a
That's
future
the
days
point.
to come.
When you face an elite defense, it's really tough to do well. And Garoppolo compared favorably to Mariota, who I think is a baller yesterday against maybe a better defense than Mariota faced. So is that because Belichick puts him in a position to win? Sure. But while you're in that position and you're winning and you're balling, you are Jimmy G. Stephen A.
Please. Handle this, Ryan.
Definitely,
I'm
definitely not calling him Jimmy G.
Jimmy G.
If I just call him Jimmy, it's because I don't want to say Garoppolo, and I don't feel like going through all that. Nice day. I thought he had a good game. But can we wait? Can we press pause?
Thank you.
Why are we getting so excited about week one?
You just told him to make a prediction on the Steelers. That's what we're doing here. Didn't you just say that 5 minutes ago?
Why are you interrupting them? What you interrupting them for?
I'm not saying I can't make a point or voice my opinion or give an observation. I'm saying just hold up on crowning him. That's all. We heard a man say it in Arizona. If you want to crown him, crown him. But don't crown this guy the way you're trying. So here's the thing.
Crowning him? G is a crown?
So here's the thing. Because you're giving him a nickname. You got to earn a nickname.
You know what he's saying. Don't try to slip your way out of this.
Here's the thing. Let's talk about Josh McDaniels. 3 reverses to Julian Edelman, right? The great screen to Hogan, which is a check off of what you see outside. If it's a press coverage, which Brandon Williams, we know, because the Patriots do film study, when they call cover 1, which is man-to-man, Brandon Williams is a press corner because he's only played the position for 2 years, and he doesn't have the skill yet or doesn't understand the game enough to be off. So that's game plan. Right? Julian Edelman, a guy who's a great safety blanket, he gets 7 catches because that's where you go when you're in trouble. LeGarrette Blount runs the ball hard all day. He's able to make good throws. I'm not saying
I'm glad you brought up because no Deion Lewis. It's not just Gronk. It's no Deion Lewis, and they still beat the Cardinals.
It's a system, but
here's the thing.
Arizona.
Hey,
he didn't lose it.
But you're the one that brought up the system.
Yeah,
but he's working it.
I'm not saying that he didn't play a good game. See, when you come on here and you pose a question like, can he get a nickname? It's not a question like, it is not a question.
Nonsense.
It's not a question of, did he play a solid football game? Because he did. And on the last drive, he was able to move the pocket and create some plays that allowed them to move the ball down the field and get a field goal. I think he played well. I also think, like you said, he benefits from being in the position of Bill Belichick being your head coach, also having an offensive coordinator and a team that's able to morph week to week.
Joe Montana benefited from the system, too.
Right. So Jimmy Garoppolo's going to win 4 Super Bowls?
Right. I got it. You know, Max brought up Bill Belichick, and he sung the praises of Bill Belichick and talked about how great Bill Belichick was and how he basically prayed he's a product of Bill Belichick. No problem. We get all that. Bill Belichick, your guy. Bill Belichick, right? It's an article here. Our researcher extraordinaire David Sabino gave me this stuff. I mean, there's an article here, right? So, Belichick is it because the media is like Max and Molly Wood. She like Molly Wood. The media walked up to Bill Belichick and they were like, "It was Garoppolo. Garoppolo. You understand?" And Bill Belichick like, he was good. And there's no gushing, right? Nothing like this one game, right? So they kept harassing.
He was very talkative yesterday.
Hold on. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. So Bill Belichick sits up there. So the media says up there, you do recognize this is going to be a big storyline. You realize that, right? It's going to be a big storyline, Coach Belichick. It's Garoppolo. Bill Belichick, I'm really concerned about the storyline. There's nothing higher on my list than the storyline. In other words, you idiot. This is what they say. This is what he's saying to the reporter. You idiot. You're coming to me for one game.
This is a tough crowd.
That's what he's saying.
You go to Arizona, play that defense without Gronk or Deion Lewis, without one of the greatest tight ends ever, or your starting running back and your third down guy and everything. and you win on the road.
Gonna give you the last word.
When do we care about New
Like it's
England's
gonna
running
help
back?
you.
And here's the other
With
thing I want.
good numbers.
Go ahead, it's gonna help you.
Tyrann Mathieu had to play the middle of the field.
Did they have him on the field?
65% of the time.
Did they have him on the
last year.
field?
It's a different
Did they have
team.
their full
No
complement of
Gerard
players?
Powers. It's a different team.
Do you know
You're talking
what's so
about what they
cute?
were ranked
They got a
last
good
year.
defense, yes or no?
Stop reading stats about what people were ranked
They got a good
last year.
defense?
It's not last night.
Do they have a
and
good
that's
defense?
what counts. It's
Do
a
they
new
have a
year.
good defense, yes or
I'm
no?
done.
It is a new year, and you know what's so cute that you and Stephen A have like your fresh trapper keeper. In your notebook, Stephen A still has a sticker on it. Like it's the.
I'm wearing Molly's glasses right now. These are Molly's
I do
glasses.
have a
I took
big
off.
head.
I
This is my
put on Molly's glasses.
2016 Trapper
You know what I'm
Keeper.
saying?
I love
I had
you. You
to
got
see
your
it.
fresh school supplies. You're
You know-
all ready to go. When we come back.